story? Here.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy?
And here we go. This is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor. It is a cold morning, as I say almost every morning. It's like 39 degrees at the moment. Sun is out. Blue skies. No clouds today. So I think all of the rain and everything has blown to the east and is going up the coast. And I think that today was just fine. Listen, I was reminded about something today. Especially about history. Because I have lived through this history. And I'm very proud of it. And when I was a kid, in 1969, I was living in Seattle with my mom and dad. Boeing had just come out with a brand new plane, the 747. And it was going to take its maiden voyage. It was going to fly for the first time. So we all zoomed down to the Boeing field, and we watched the first 747 take off. It was amazing. And I remember sending in 25 cents. And Boeing sent me a picture of the 747. And it was in a blue case. And I was so proud of it. I don't know what's happened to that. That would probably be like worth a lot of money now. Because that was one of the very first pictures taken. But I have no idea where it's gone to now. But can you believe it? I was there for the very first takeoff. And now I am living through the very last 747 being made. They will no longer make the 747. Now that, I have flown around this world in that 747. I have flown to Asia, I have flown to Europe, I have flown to the south of Mexico. I have been all over on this 747. It's like an old friend saying goodbye to an old friend. 747 has gotten me around this world many, many times. So what is the discussion we're going to have today? Well, I'm going to go back in history again. There was a U.S. senator. His name was Joseph McCarthy. He was a U.S. senator, and he became a U.S. senator in 1947 until he died in 1957. But what was he known for? Well, he was known for alleging that numerous communists and Soviet spies and sympathizers had infiltrated the United States federal government, universities, film industry, and elsewhere. All over the place. Even Ronald Reagan was considered a communist under Joseph McCarthy. He went nuts. He had these huge hearings. If you go back in history, go on YouTube, you can watch these things. And he was condemning everybody for being a Soviet spy. Until finally, a journalist stood up, did some investigating, and McCarthy was pretty much done with. Now, Joseph McCarthy was an evil type of individual. He was very vindictive. And he made up all these stories about all these different people. And it was sad. It was a bad time in American history. People in the movie industry, people in corporate America, people in diplomats. It was all over the place. He was saying that they were Soviet spies. Now, none of them were. Some of them may have been communists, but there's a lot of communists, especially in our government right now. But we have to look at that history because it's very, very similar to what was going on with Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell. Both of them were making up stories about Russian collusion. It became very dangerous. It destroyed people's lives. Both of these men stood before the United States and said Trump was a Russian spy. He had Russian collusion. Now, it was all proven to be false and lies, but even to this day, Adam Schiff is still pushing that narrative. Even though he's been proven wrong, even though the FBI said no, there's nothing to it, even though committees have said no, there's nothing to it. I mean, it goes on and on. But it's very similar to Joseph McCarthy and what he did. Joseph McCarthy, during his time, he completely upset the cart with all of his allegations. All lies, all figments of his imagination. But he kept doing it until finally someone said, okay, enough is enough. And now it's funny that with Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell, that the person that is stopping them from serving on the Intel Committee would be named McCarthy. I mean, it goes completely around, right? Life is it's such a situation that we have to laugh at it every single time, but this is a very serious situation because we had two men who were determined to destroy lives based on lies. Destroying lives based on lies. The same as what Joseph McCarthy did. I encourage you, go back into YouTube and you can pull up his videos. And you can see exactly how dangerous that he was to the American people and to the American government. But we have the same situation that happened with the Intel Committee, with Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell. Now they are off those committees, taken off by Congressman McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy this time, not Joseph, but Kevin. Because they were using that committee for political gain. Had nothing to do with Intel. Had nothing to do with the safety of Americans. But the committee was used for political gain to destroy one man. Now, you see, if we compare Joseph McCarthy with Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell, they're all the same man. They're all the same person. They're wearing the same label. They're wearing the same hate. They're wearing the same hat of craziness, of nonsense, just so that they could destroy people's lives. And they found pleasure in it. Every single day, you heard these two men, Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff, coming up before the American people, and nothing but what they did, it was just all lies, fabrication. And they said, we have evidence, but they showed no evidence. Even when they went into the impeachment trials, Adam Schiff had nothing. It showed that what he was really there for was to destroy one man. His hate was so great for one man. He wanted destruction. He wanted the power to do that, and he had it in the Intel Committee. This is a very serious situation where you have Joseph McCarthy, Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, all trying to do the exact same thing. History repeats itself. And we'll have it again in a few more years. We'll have it again. See, the problem is when they go to Washington, D.C., they forget all about representing you and me. Instead of what they do is say, what is the way that I can get power? Now, Nancy Pelosi pushed it on. She was spouting the same things about Russian collusion. She can't do it anymore because she's been found out that it was a lie. But Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, they continue on. They continue on fabricating and fabricating and spinning and lying and lying. And then they stand before us yesterday in their press conferences and say it's a political vengeance against them, when they had shown political vengeance against one man. Joseph McCarthy was an evil individual. These two people are politically evil. Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell. They cannot stand before us and say it's vindictive against them when they have been vindictive against the United States and the American people. And listen, Kevin McCarthy, he was correct. He was correct in his argument before the press yesterday of why he did not put them on those committees, because they could no longer be trusted. Are we going to see a downfall of Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff as we saw with McCarthy, because he was brought down bad? Joseph McCarthy is always remembered for the evil that he prosecuted people before the United States on television, on national television, just like Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff. They must be related in some way through hate. Because this hate for one man, this hate for the American people, and to lie before the American people, is as evil as you can get, is as corrupt as you can get, is as unethical as you have ever seen before. Joseph McCarthy will always go down, because now we're using the term based upon his name called McCarthyism. And McCarthyism is described as people trying to destroy other people. That's how bad it was. He was known for making all of these allegations, just like Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff. Allegation after allegation after allegation. It never ended. It was constant every single day. And they tried to get as much publicity as they could. They even leaked classified documents to the American people. You can't have people like that on an intel committee. They cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted. McCarthyism. They are practicing McCarthyism. Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, or the McCarthyism, can't even say the word, McCarthyism of this day and age. That's exactly what they were. And they're still trying to get that power back. But every single American should say, okay, enough of this. Enough. We don't want McCarthyism anymore in the Congress. We want things to get done. And I warn the Republican Congress at the moment, if you step over that boundary line and go into McCarthyism and try to destroy other people, you're practicing exactly the same thing. So do not let that happen. If you have a case, bring the case. If you don't, stop and focus on what the American people need. Listen, this is Mike Lodge. If you would like to have more access to me, you can go to my website, which is www.lodge-co.com, LODGE-co.com. If you would like to send me an email and ask me a question on business, you can send it to thebusinessadvisor@gmail.com. If you want to help me and support my podcast, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Michael Lodge. That's a lot there. I'll have it down in the base of this. Everybody go out and have a great day. Love ya. Bye-bye.